Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and today is obviously a very special day. I have just went to Hyperia's opening day yesterday, and today I'm going to be doing a nice review for you all, and I can say it is certainly a great ride. But before I get into the review, can I please ask you all to like and subscribe? It helps out the channel a lot, and let's get into the review. So today I'm going to be going through my whole experience of riding Hyperia. And I turned up at Thorpe Park at 8:40 in the morning, ready to ride Hyperia, probably thinking I've probably got a fair bit of waiting to do, but nowhere near did I think I'd be waiting 6.5 hours for my first ride. I essentially started queuing just before the turnstiles for the security area, and then obviously made my way into the park and queued from the bridge all the way down to the little breakout area just before Saw, which was full of cattle pen, and then made my way after that around and into the Hyperia main queue. So with all of this queue line, it ended up taking around 6.5 hours. Obviously this is with breakdowns, which is to be expected. Had quite a few breakdowns on its opening day, but obviously it's a brand new ride, it's to be expected. But yeah, it took 6.5 hours from the start of the bridge all the way through to getting on Hyperia. So when I got to the station, I sat in the train, and I can say these Mac trains, you know, they're on all of the Mac rides essentially, and they are of course really comfortable. The lap bar sits lovely on your lap.
That is bloody lovely.
And yeah, it's really comfortable. You feel really free. There's nothing to the side of you, so you could technically stick your leg out if you wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, you feel really free, so you can, you know, feel the forces at its best, you know. So that's one thing I do love about the trains. Obviously, lap bar. No, you're not going to fall out, GP. You know, it's not going to happen. It's completely safe. And yeah, obviously the ride does make you sound like you're going to fall out, but you're not. Don't worry. And yeah, obviously we had a dispatch when I sat on the train, and yeah, went through the first turn, which as you can see is a nice little bank turn, just to, you know, get you started off, which, you know, a lot of good interaction with people in the queue line, everybody cheering and wooing, and yeah, started off the lift hill, and yeah, the lift hill is a really fast lift hill. So you're basically from the bottom to the top, you're up there in a matter of seconds. But yeah, from the top you get a really good view of the park, and I believe you can also see bits like the Shard looking into London. So yeah, you're getting a great view from the park. Now, what can I say about the drop? The drop is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it's one of the best first drops, I'd say, on any coaster I've ever been on, to be honest. The brilliant twist basically makes it all, and yeah, it's pretty much vertical drop, so yeah, that's got to be one of the best drops I've ever seen. Brilliant bit of force coming out of it, and of course you're going 81 miles an hour, so it feels quite fast. Obviously, I'd say if you're going if you're looking at other rides in the park, Stealth feels faster, but that's just purely because of the launch to 0 to 80 in like 1.8 seconds. But yeah, you just certainly do feel the speed after that drop, and the drop is absolutely brilliant. And then after that, you go into the non-inverted element, and I must say that is a brilliant element of the ride. I mean, every element of this ride is great. And yeah, especially from coming out of the element, you do get a brilliant bit of airtime, solid amount. And yeah, basically as you're going down off the element, you pretty much are out your seat the whole time, and it's great. Now, onto, I'd say probably is one of the best elements of this ride is, of course, this outer bank turn, whatever the fuck it is, I have no idea. But what I will say about it is it's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, the elements sort of basically twist you out to the side so you're facing the wrong way, and then as you're going around, you then twist under yourself and flip upside down. It's an absolutely brilliant element, I will say. From the start that you obviously twist outwards, you're basically flying out your seat the whole way around until you twist under yourself, which provides a good like 5 seconds of airtime. It feels absolutely brilliant, and yeah, it's definitely my highlight of the ride. And then after that, of course, you go into the stall, another brilliant element of the ride. I know Theme Park Worldwide said he thinks that's probably the best stall in the world. I'd say it's definitely up there, and gives Velocicoaster's a stall a brilliant rival. And yeah, you feel like you're hanging there for ages. And then after that, you go into the splashdown. There's a little bit of a trim on the splashdown, but I think that's just so the basically, you know, you're going way too fast for the next hill, so little bit of a trim, which is understandable, and then I guess you sort of feel like you're being slowed down by the water. Obviously, I don't think the GP will realise that you can. That's the sort of element you can get on like maybe a dive coaster. But yeah, you get a little bit of a trim. Obviously, the water fountains come up, which is a nice effect, and then you go into the next Outer Bank airtime hall, and yeah, obviously it's it's an Outer Bank airtime hill. It's usually they're pretty good. Obviously not as good as the original Outer Bank airtime hill, but yeah, definitely a great way to end the ride. And then you twist round and then go up into another airtime hill and then into the brake run. And yeah, nice bit of pop of airtime. Airtime is great. We love airtime, so more airtime the better, hey? So yeah, and that brings you to the end of the ride. And what I will say about this ride is it's by far the best roller coaster in the UK. It shits on basically any other roller coaster in the UK. And yes, you may get a couple people saying, it's not themed very well, or it looks a bit barren. That will grow over time, of course. The trees that are planted, they're basically twigs to the ground at this point. But yeah, they come, and grow a bit more, make the area look a bit better. But yeah, obviously there's no theming on the ride. But I will say, when you're on the ride, theming is literally not your focus at all. You're just focusing on the brilliant elements you're going through, and yeah, the airtime, which is definitee a highlight of this ride. For me, as an overall placement on my ranking, I've been on Steel Vengeance and Velocicoaster and Ride to Happiness. I don't think it pips any of them out of my top spot, but it's definitely for me a top 10 ride, and I'm just so glad to have it so close to me. It's only an hour and a half down the road. Thorpe Park is essentially my home park, so yeah, it's a great ride to have at my home park, and I'm really happy with it. And also, one thing I will say is I had a little bit of a semi-night ride on it as my last ride of the night, and I will say now I'm very much looking forward to Fright Nights. God knows what the queue will be before it closes on Fright Nights, but certainly I will be in that queue before the park closes and getting a brilliant night ride, because from the lighting on this ride, as you can see right now, it looks great. Obviously it's not completely dark, but yeah, we can tell we're going to be onto a winner here, lads. And yeah, that's my review. In terms of the overall sort of opening day experience, I think it was really well organised. Not at one point did I feel like I was going to be crushed by a stampede or anything. Everybody was calm, everybody was excited, and they were just, looking forward to get onto the ride. And also, we did also get a nice certificate on opening day saying I was one of the first to ride, and I think that's a great touch, and obviously now I can hang that up on my wall and think, I was there on opening day for this brilliant ride, and what an honour it was to be there. Right, that has been my review on Hyperia. It's a brilliant ride, and I'm just so glad to have it in the UK. And I look forward to many more rides on it. Now, let me know what you thought if you've ridden Hyperia. I've been Speckhead. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Moving fresh, X sector in the